What's going on, family? Welcome back to the lounge. I'm so glad you're here with me. This isn't my regular studio setup because I am actually on location in LA, but I wanted to come with you guys with another Ask a Cinematographer in the Ask a Cinematographer series. Today, the topic is film school or nah. One of the biggest questions I get from whether it's, parents wanting to know more knowledge, for their children, young high school students, friends, family. Like one of the biggest questions that I get, and one of the biggest questions I had is, do I have to go to film school to have a career in film? And the easiest way to answer this question is no, you don't have to go to film school. But however, there are pros and cons to, I wouldn't say cons, but there's pros and not going to film school and going to film school. I won't touch on every single thing. You can search YouTube, Google, you can, and you'll get 1,000 different answers, but I'm going to give you kind of like my short opinion on the matter because I do get this question asked a lot to me. So for example, for myself, I grew up playing basketball. That was my dream. And, film was like my second love. Basketball was my first love. And so when I went to college, I went to college to play college basketball. I played 4 years. And I knew that, leaving out of high school, I kind of wanted to go to film school, but like basketball was my ticket. And so when I was in college, I graduated I majored in communications with an emphasis on TV and broadcasting. And so that gave me the leeway to still be in film or still be around, broadcasting while I'm playing college basketball, right? And so that's what I did. That was my route. I went to Pittsburgh State University. Shout out to the Gorillas. And so when I finished up my college basketball career, after 4 years, all throughout, my college career, I was taking film classes and learning like the fundamentals. I had a passion for film, but I didn't know, how to light, how to shoot, anything about directing, or it was just, what I would see on TV, and I would kind of repeat the things that I see on TV. But when I finished college basketball, I had another semester to graduate, and so I took that semester to take all of the film classes that I could that they were offering, in the program. That was TV directing and producing, so I had to create my own show. The semester before that, I took a documentary filmmaking class. I took another film class, I can't really remember, but I was basically catering, my degree like it was a film school. So I was the creative filmmaking classes that they were giving, I was taking that instead of doing like the news route and like the broadcasting route. I was taking like the filmmaking route and taking what the university was offering me. And so I learned a lot from that. And I gained a lot of experience doing that. And, even at this point, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in communications. I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a living, even after all of that, because I thought that I had to go to film school to make money doing what I loved. I thought I had to go to the East Coast or West Coast. So even after I graduated my bachelor's degree, I was considering film school. And so long story short, my wife was still finishing school up. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna stay here and get my master's degree. So I did that. For my thesis project, instead of writing a 120-page paper, I decided to do a creative project, which was to do a full-length documentary project on my old high school basketball team and old high school basketball coach, which turned out to be an 1.5 hour long documentary. And I filmed it over a year and edited it over like 6 months, and it won a national award, right? That was when I decided that film is what I want to do for the rest of my life. When I got that kind of validation of having a national award and people on campus and teachers saying like this was the best thing that came out of Pitt State University, that for me was my validation. I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be most valuable in the marketplace. I need to some way find a way to make money doing this because this is what I love as well. So with that being said, my journey to being a freelance cinematographer, or what I'm doing now, was taking, learning and as I was growing all the way from middle school to high school, shooting, learning, having fun. When I got to college, taking the proper classes to learn more, to do it, how to do it professionally or legitly. And then my all-in was when I graduated with my master's degree, I decided that I was going to look for an in-house job doing filmmaking. And I did. I found an in-house job, being an in-house filmmaker for a small agency. That's how I kind of learned even more about filmmaking in the technical aspects. And so for me, that was my film school. Like, college was the introduction, and I had taken a lot of classes and learned, but I was also learning on the job. And on the side, I was watching YouTube. I was looking at other filmmakers and what they were doing, taking courses, taking workshops. I was just a sponge for knowledge. And in those years, like post, I would say in the years of like from college to, getting my first job, and even at my first job, I was still learning. And I kind of used that as my film school. And so that was enough for me to give me the confidence to be like, yo, if I cut out the middleman, I can make more money on my own than working for a company. And that's kind of essentially what I did after I got fired. If you know my journey, maybe I'll share it on here one day. However, that was my film school. And so the reason why I say you don't have to go to film school to, build a career in this industry is because I didn't. I know a lot of other people that didn't, that used YouTube, that used, maybe having a mentor and being a production assistant first, going straight into the industry, like I said, as a PA but there's so many different avenues you can do. But as a cinematographer, there are also pros to going to film school. So I know a cinematographer here out in LA that he went to film school, and he helped me on a shoot. And his technical knowledge, I'm not gonna lie, he had a light meter, he had the ratios, he had all the terms. Like, his knowledge of film and cinematography surpassed me for sure, because I just didn't have that step of like learning, having a formal education in film. And so I could just see just from jump, him going to film school served him, and he's doing, New Balance commercials and doing a lot of great things. And another, for example, if you want to be a director, Ryan Coogler tells a story where when he was in film school, he was a college athlete as well, and he decided to quit football to go to film school. And what film school did for him was not only did it help him become a better writer, become a better director, because as he was learning, but the relationships that he built at film school, he couldn't have got that on his own. So in his program, Forrest Whitaker was kind of one of the mentors in the program. And so he pitched some of his scripts to Forrest Whitaker, who eventually greenlit his first film, which was Fruitvale Station, which won, I believe, the Sundance, and then that led to Creed being greenlit, and then which led to Black Panther. And so he had built not only a network, he had built skills going to film school. And then there's so many different stories that you hear just like that. And so will film school help? Absolutely. Do you have to go? You don't. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on film school. That's what I would tell anybody, asking if you're brand new, if you're in high school, if you're in college, even if you're later in life, if you want to know, what should I do? You just got to weigh out the pros and cons. Everybody's situation is different. Can you afford it? Can you get up to the East Coast or West Coast? Those are where your best film schools are going to be. But then, like I said, ask other people in the industry. This is why I'm doing this series, Ask a Cinematographer, because, my experience is going to be different than somebody else's, but I can also learn from other people's experience. And so, there's a bevy of pros and cons to both. But you have to ask yourself, do you want to go to film school or not? Do you need to go to film school? What is your situation? And that will give you the best answer. But hopefully this has been helpful to you. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And I wish you the best of luck on your journey as you are searching for answers. And this is part of your education as well, when you're searching for answers to know, what your next steps are going to be. So that's all I got for you guys, man. If you have any other questions that you want to ask a cinematographer, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try to get to it. Appreciate you. Peace.